The second connecting device is a self-retracting lifeline. Some people call these SRDs, some call them simply retractables. Some of you guys may know them as yo-yos. The point here is this is a viable option when we're thinking about that long elongation that we talked about with the shock absorbing lanyard. A self-retracting lifeline does that. It literally pays itself out and it will retract automatically. This allows for there not to be any slack between the worker and the anchorage connector. Self-retracting lifelines come in a number of lengths. We offer them from 6 foot of web all the way up to 100 feet of cable. In the event of a fall, a self-retracting lifeline will lock. Now, as you'll see in the demonstration in a few minutes, a self-retracting lifeline does not necessarily work like a seat belt. There is going to be some elongation in a self-retracting lifeline. In fact, there are 3 categories of self-retracting lifelines: a Class A, a Class B, and a LE or leading edge. A Class A retractable lifeline will have a maximum arrest distance of 24 inches. A Class B SRL will have a maximum arrest distance of 54, and a leading edge SRL is designed for leading edge environments and foot level tie-offs. So it's important to understand, if you choose the SRL, the yo-yo, the retractable lifeline, as your connecting device of choice, understand the classification or what that unit is designed to do. There is a payout difference with these. As with a shock absorbing lanyard, a self-retracting lifeline should be inspected daily. This particular one I'm using has a carabiner at the top. This carabiner, just like that snap hook, should be at least double locking, and it should be self-closing. You also want to inspect the label of the retractable to make sure there's legibility and traceability. It also helps you to understand the performance of the retractable. That should be on the label as well. You also want to check the housing, make sure there's no distortion, any cracks, make sure the unit hasn't been dropped to the point that it could impact the inner workings. Also, what you want to do with the retractable is you want to pull your line constituent. That could be cable, that could be web. You want to pull that out and you want to check the entire length of the unit. Again, if it's webbing, you're looking for cuts, frays, or burns. If it's cable, you're looking for burrs in the cable or smash spots in the cable. And then lastly, you want to double check this double locking snap hook. As with the lanyards, it's the same style. You want to make sure that it's double locking, that it is self-closing. Also with the retractable, you always want to check your warning indicators. Warning indicators can be on the snap hook. Sometimes they're in the webbing. They can also be on the top side of a retractable. Make sure that warning indicator has not been deployed, which could indicate that the unit has been put into a fall. Self-retracting lifelines allow you to work at lower clearance heights, allows you to be compliant with OSHA, and also allows the forces on your body to be minimized because your free fall can be less, and also the max arrest distance is less using the SRL. SRLs are really the next phase and the next piece of equipment in the next generation of fall protection. They are becoming the most widely used connecting device in the industry, and they are quickly replacing shock absorbing lanyards. A lot of job sites today are going to 100% tie-off, and when we say 100% tie-off, that means that workers can work on a job site and never not be tied off. In order to do that, you would either have a Y lanyard or, like I have here today, a dual leg self-retracting lifeline. Now, this is a smaller self-retracting lifeline. This happens to be a 7 foot. This particular unit actually goes to the back of the harness just below the D-ring. It integrates in with the webbing of the harness. But by having 2 legs of the SRL, you're able to be tied off at point A, and if you need to move to point B, you can do that before you disconnect from point A. Again, understand the classification of the SRL that you choose so that you can understand the maximum arrest distance, so that you can understand the clear story height required.